What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's beautiful project, our Lamborghini Murcielago Liberty Walk Edition. Let's have a look at this one. It is the LP 670-4, and I have, since the last episode, figured out what this means. LP basically means the engine sits lengthways and behind you. 670 is its power. If we just go to that screen, you can see it there. And 4 means four-wheel drive. So if that's a 2, it means rear-wheel drive, and that number there basically means whatever the engine's power output is from the factory. Obviously, on this one, it is 670 with that V12 double overhead cam MRN engine, which is what we will be keeping it in today. Obviously, adding performance parts. We will be increasing that, but that LP number will not change. Unfortunately, that would be nice if it did. We got it from the half-decent auction house, hence no dust on it. And it's in pretty good condition. I've definitely seen a lot worse from there, but I've definitely seen a lot better. Did we get a good deal? No. 124,569 is what I paid for it, and I could sell it for 111,066, losing out on 13,503. What we need to do is win the drag competition and make a good, decent amount of money on this car indeed. That's what we're aiming for today. I would say let's get stuck into it. Just before, don't forget to come and join us on Discord. Take part in the competition. Sonic Fear won the last one, and actually the one before that. Next up, we're building Golly's and Nissan Skyline GTR R34, a pretty epic one. A link in the description below to the Discord. Head over to the competitions page. It will show you the exact car we're all going to be working on and what some people have already created, and they're looking pretty good. If you are looking forward to what we're going to be building today, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We are trying to get up to 500 subscribers before the 19th of February, which is my birthday, and if we get there, I am going to pre-build a beast of a drag fire truck ready to go down the drag strip and hopefully tear everything up. That's the intro started. That's the intro finished. There we go. Let's get over to the car wash. Let's get this beast cleaned up. Here we are then, in the car wash with our beautiful little Mercy, and it's one a light blue panel. We're going to get it clean anyway, although it doesn't look too bad. It was from the nice auction house, which means it was washed before it was sold, but we're still going to do it anyway because it's just nice to double check and make sure. Get in there, clean that. Once that's all done, we'll get it back on the lift, get that engine ripped out of there, and clear that engine bay. The Mercy's up in the air. Let's check underneath. Now, first thing I want to check is the LP 670-4. Means it's four-wheel drive. It does have front drive axles. I wonder if there's meant to be something in there connecting them together, but it's missing. We'll check in a minute, but we need to check for that oil pan. It is there, so let's get that all drained out first. Over we go with the oil drain. How dirty are you? Very dirty, actually. I've seen worse, but that's still pretty bad. Up you go then. Let's jump in, and obviously I can't get in underneath. What is happening? There we go. Try that from there. There it is, looking absolutely beautiful. Now, obviously, we need to get these drive axles and wheels off before we can tear that engine out. So I'm going to crack on with that, and I'll be back in a second. That's the rear wheels and the drive axles out. Let's grab that little starter there out. You come as well, and then we'll take out this beast of a gearbox. Any rusty? Just the one. Not too bad of a start so far. In we go. That should be everything on this one, so let's see if we can rip that beast of an engine out of there. Over we go to grab the crane. Let's get you back to the car. Let's give this a go. Nice, we did get everything. Always good to see that. Now let's get into this engine bay, but before we jump onto the engine bay stuff, I want to see if there's anything missing that should be connecting the drive axles, and there isn't. A little bit unfortunate there, but we get it sometimes. You just have to do things that you wouldn't normally do to make the car work. Now, in the engine bay, obviously, we've got the two radiators at the front there with that large intercooler. We also have a coolant reservoir here, the wishy-washy reservoir, power steering reservoir, and the brake servo just up there, plus two more radiators down at the back. Are they missing fan housing kits? It doesn't look like it. That's always good. But we need to drain out these liquids, and to do that, it is a nice and simple right-click, additional tools, drain tool, click and hold on the container, and it'll drain it all out. We're going to clear the rest of this out. When we come back, we'll work on the bodywork, so I'll see you in just a bit. That's everything mechanical on the Mercy, repaired, replaced, or upgraded, ready to go back on and make this the performance monster that it definitely should be. But let's start tearing this body kit down. We'll start with that hood. Is that a fender? It is a fender. I was just struggling to get to it. Out with them headlights there. Out with the windscreen and those lovely doors. That should be the side skirt part, or car part 2 as it's more commonly known. What else have we got here? That's a rear body window. That's a panel because it's a different colour. Rear bumper. Then we got the tail lights. That's part of the bodywork. Out with the spoiler. Anything else there? That's all part of the bodywork, part of the bodywork, part of the bodywork. That's not. There we go. Out with you. Out with that window. And out with that door. And I think that might be everything. I am not 100% on that. We'll go in. We'll go in and grab that interior out. Out with the seat. Out with the wheel there. And we'll have a double check to see if we have got everything. 1% on that screen. That's always good. And nothing on there. We have got everything. Frames at 46%. And I bought it for 125,000, just under. This should sell for quite a bit, so I'm going to say this is going to be 1,800. Oh, okay. 3,220. I may have just been a tiny wee little bit off with that one there. Beautiful Lamborghini Murcielago. Let's go check out the body shop for this one. A fresh import goods. Where are you? Murcielago, just there. Now, a couple of spoiler options there, along with removing one, so that should be cool. What can we play around with on there? A few different side skirts and rear arches on there. Car part 4 and 5 was that 2 panels by the engine bay there. We got the engine cover. We need to get that on. A couple of different front bumper options on there. Just the one set of doors and then 2 sets of the fenders. I'm assuming one of them's wider than the other, that kind of thing. A couple of different hoods, one with the badge, one without. Headlight options, there's a couple on there. Just the one left side mirror. It looks very fancy. I quite like it. A few tail light options as well. And a couple of rear bumper options. Some of these are wide open and I quite like them. Not sure if they're what we're going to go for today though. What else have we got? Headlights, taillights, trunks. There's a few options for the trunks there. A lot of options for the trunk windows. And a lovely little windshield. Only 3 pages, so it's not too bad at all. But we need to work out how we're going to put ours back together today. It is a Liberty Walk, so we are going for a wide body. Most of them will be Liberty Walk-esque parts. That's what we're going to go for. So I need to get all of that back together, get everything repaired, replaced, or upgraded, ready to go back on. Then we'll head over to the paint shop. Time to get this super velour all back together. Let's just crack on with it. In we go. On with the hood. I kept the badge on there because why not? Front fenders. Now, these can sometimes be a little bit difficult to put on because it likes to clip into the suspension. I say put on, more likely take off is the case. If I just go like this, look, it just likes to clip to the suspension most of the way along it. That top strip along there, you're all right. And down that edge there, you're all right. Everywhere else, it just wants to clip into the suspension. So just bear that in mind when you're taking it apart. In with the headlights, we went with the tinted with the eyebrows on them there. There we go. And the front bumper B, which is the one with the wide body flares to go on there. The only one with the wide body flares, looking good. The door, obviously, is just the SV door. Let's just get the window, the windscreen, and that lovely little side mirror in there, along with these side skirts plus rear wide body trim, looking good on there. Left body window, in you go. Let's move it around the back. I think I've got everything there. On with the rear bumper there. That is a rear bumper B. Now, there is a difference between the B and the C, and that is these little pieces here. One of them doesn't have them. The C doesn't have them. The B does. In with the headlights, we went for the tinted ones because they look pretty sweet. And we'll get that engine cover on now. We are going to leave it on today. We're going to paint it, see what we can do with it. Hopefully make it look good. Trunk B on there. Now, there's 2 styles of trunks. One with the built-in slats and bits that go in there, I believe, and then ones with the slats that you put in yourself. You can get the glass slats, carbon fiber slats, or paintable slats. We've gone for glass because we like to show off our engine. On with the spoiler, we just kept that one as it was, the big carbon wing there. Obviously looking good. Car part 5. Oh, I missed one on the other side as well, didn't I? There we go. Car part 4, in you go. Then we got the rear fender on this side, and then the body window. On with that lovely little door. In with the window and on with that mirror, and that should be everything for the bodywork apart from a lovely little license plate. Went for something basic today, a VM plate LP670 4, because you can't put a dash on the license plates unfortunately, but there we go, looking pretty good. Let's get the interior in and then we'll check to see if we've got everything. I've kept them in the same style of seats, just a slightly different one there. The all levered ones out there, I've gone for leather with a bit on the inside that we can colour, look a bit cool later on. And the steering wheel is just the M3 one. It looks pretty good on there. That should be everything. Very black and white this car's looking at the moment. Definitely not how it's going to stay. But have we got everything? 100%, 100%, 100%. Fantastic. Let's get this little beauty over to the paint shop. See what liveries we've got today and what colour we're going to pick for it. Well, here we are in the paint shop with the beautiful looking Mercy. Now, my colour, I had a colour in mind for this and I've changed it because I noticed the stitching down here is all in the Lamborghini yellow. And now my mind's made up. I wanted to go for a variation of this orange, not this exact orange, but because the stitching's in yellow, I just cannot not go for the yellow. I'm not going to stick it in gloss, though. We are going to change it. I am going to go for a matte on this one. I think that's going to look pretty cool on there. But now let's check out the liveries. That's the colour we're going to go for. Lovely matte yellow. We've got plenty of blacks, bits of carbon fibre on there to play around with as well, including a piece up here looking pretty good. Let's check out the liveries, though. Slot number 1 is the Liberty Walk livery. There we go. LB Performance, black text. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Nicely done there. That's looking pretty good. Nothing too fancy. Just a bit of wording on there. Quite like it. Slot number 2 is exactly the same, but with a black strip down here. Okay, that's the thing. Slot number 3 is the writing all in white with the black strip down here and the Liberty in white there. And slot number 4 is the Liberty Walk white, which is the writing all in white with a white strip down here and the lettering in black on that piece. I'm going to go for a black lettering one. Let's see if there's any more. No, I thought that was it. Let's go back a couple. I want that one there. I think the black lettering on the yellow body with the white lettering down here in the black trim, with the black trim going all the way around the front. That's what we're going to go for. That's looking pretty good. Let's get that on you go. Then I want to check out, see if the stitching inside is a sort of a close enough match to this yellow. Let's just jump in and have a look. That's not far off. Even with matting it out, that looks pretty good in there. I wonder if there is a way that you could change the colour, or we at home, after you've made the mod, can change the colour of that stitching in there to match whatever the body colour is. If there is a way, please do contact me and let me know, because I would love to be able to do that. Looking awesome. Now, we got a few bits to sort out. Obviously, love them doors. Obviously, I'm going to try and put a bit of yellow in these seats and maybe a bit of yellow on the steering wheel as well, just to give a bit more extra yellow in there. That's what we're going to aim for. I am also going to try and put some yellow on that beautiful engine cover there and see how that works. So I'll get that done. I'll get everything painted to go on the engine, on the suspension, everything like that. We'll check it out before we start putting it all together. Well, that's everything painted on our Liberty Walk Mercy, looking absolutely stunning on there. Very pleased with that. You can see I've got some yellow in the seats, in the centre there, looking good, and a little bit on the steering wheel, just for good measure. And you can just see a little bit of that yellow stitching poking through there, which is what made me choose yellow today, looking at that. We'll also show the engine cover. You can see it's yellow. You can't really see much detail, so we'll just quickly go into the photo mode. Let's just give ourselves some height and have a look in. Now, if I just zoom in on that a little bit, you can see the carbon fibre has gone a yellow as well, which I'm a little bit disappointed with. I didn't want the carbon fibre going yellow. I wanted that to stay black carbon fibre. But the only way I could paint these pieces here was if I painted that carbon fibre as well. That all was connected, basically. Still looks pretty good. I'm still pretty pleased with it. Just wish the carbon fibre stayed black. Everything else looks absolutely fantastic, but it's time to get the suspension all together. So let's get it up in the air. Let's start getting these shocks together. Obviously, we've got yellow shocks, white springs, and some black caps. Triple colours on there. Looking pretty good. Off you come. Same for the rear. Just a different cap on it. Looks a little bit different, but beautiful colours nonetheless. Let's start getting some of it on the car. We're going to start with a large intercooler at the front, which is completely blacked out because I didn't want it to go gold yellow, and it doesn't go white either. So there we go. Steering rack in the middle in the lovely yellow, and then the sway bar in the white. The steering knuckles also in that yellow, with the inner tie rod black and the outer tie rod in a little white, just splashing some colours on there. Bottom suspension arms in the black. The top suspension arm is also matching it as per usual, kind of what I normally do on that one there. Looking pretty good. Pleased with them. Let's get that beautiful shock in there ready to go. I love the look of them. I think they look fantastic. Sway bar end links in a black, again, because it won't go white, and I didn't want it gold. So there we go. That's why that's that colour. The knuckle cover is in a lovely little white with the wheel hub in black for the same reason as the other three pieces we've already mentioned. Let's get the brake disc on there. Wheel bearing in. Then we got a lovely brake pad, and we do have this front drive axle, which is just in black. Doesn't connect to anything, but we use our imagination here sometimes. Sometimes we have to. Not the builder's fault. It's just sometimes the metrics we work with in the game. Brake calipers today are in a pearl red, just for something a little bit different. Quite liking the look of them. Looking very good in there. Let's get in underneath. We've got fuel tanks to go in. These are both blacked out with a little yellow fuel pump on there. Just for good measure, finishing that one off. But let's get down the back. Knuckle in the yellow. These are pretty much the same as the front. Just a few less pieces, that's all. In we go. On we go with them. And let's get you in at the top with the upper suspension arm. Looking very good in there. On we go. Then we got the shock, which obviously we've already seen. Very similar to the front. Just, again, a slightly different cap on it. Knuckle covers in the white. And then the rear wheel hub is in the black there. On you go. bearing in. Can't do the drive axle yet because we have to wait till the engine and gearbox are in. So let's just get the rest of it done. On with the brake pads and then that lovely brake caliper in the pearl red there, just for something a little different. That's it. We've got all the fuel tanks in. Nothing else can be done from up here. The rest of it is inside the engine bay. So we'll jump over to the other side, get the rest of it finished. Then we'll come back and sort this beautiful engine bay out before we go and build that V12. Black, yellow, white, and a tiny little splash of red just on the brake calipers there. Looking absolutely fantastic in that suspension. We have also got the fuse box already in. I remembered at this time. Fully matte yellow out to match the body of the car. And hopefully everything else looking very good in there. But we've got to get on and get the engine bays finished. We'll start with these radiators at the front. They are just blacked out. You can't see them from anywhere. In fact, as we're at the front, and that's the only pieces at the front, we'll go down and take a look now because obviously that large intercooler there is making it look like a black grille sort of going across because this was a bit empty before, but you can't see the radiators or the intercooler there. Kind of how I wanted it. I just wanted to stick with that black theme across the front there. Let's get down the back though. I'm going to go this side because I can see the wishy-washy reservoir. There it is. In we go. We'll put that piece in first. In with that one. The two back radiators are both black as well. You could probably already see that. We'll chuck the battery in because we're here and we'll get the ABS pump and module in. They're all blacked out as well. Ready to go. You can't see any of this from anywhere. This is all tucked in neatly at the back. So in the actual game-wise, you won't be able to see it. Coolant reservoir in you go. Power steering in you go. ECU in you go. And then we've got the lovely little brake servo just down there. And I think that's everything. I know at the beginning I missed the fuse box. I just completely couldn't see it. Blacked out down there. Was almost invisible. We'll take a step away again and we'll take a look. You see, can't see them radiators from the back. I tried them with yellow on. You just can't see them. What you can see just about when that bumper's off, we'll just take that one off very quickly, is the actual like fan housing kit built into the bodywork, which I really love. I think that's a lovely little touch by Lit there. But we need to get that bumper back on if I can get the right place. There we go. And our lovely little license plate. Now we need to go and build that beast of a V12. I'm loving this car so far. Absolutely stunning in the yellow. Very pleased I kind of forced myself to go with it because of that stitching. But let's go and build that beautiful engine. There she is on the stand. We've got the block in a yellow and it turned out absolutely fantastic. It didn't look that good in the paint shop, but I went with it anyway because I thought, no, I'm just going to keep the block yellow. But on the stand, it looks brilliant. Oil pans in the black. All of the gubbings in there ready to go. So let's just get started. And we are just going to start at the top with these engine heads. They are blacked out, obviously, with a little bit of that red element still showing in there. On we go, on we go. Now, the opposite engine heads, sadly, they don't paint the same. One of them paints with some of the silver bits showing there. This one paints all black apart from the red bits. Bit bizarre. Not sure what that's all about, but it is what it is. And it won't matter by the time we get everything on because all of the little silver bits will all be covered up anyway. You just won't see them. Fuel filter in a lovely little yellow. Oil filter blacked out to go on the block. And I'll do these exhausts now because they're in a metallic-y sort of silver. And I'm going to show you why. In fact, I'm just going to jump away from this engine in a second and show you why right now. Not like me at all, but let's just get on with it. In we go with all of the exhausts in there. On we go. And now they're on there. We're just going to quickly jump away. Go to the back of the car. Now, there is no exhaust in this car apart from on there. And this piece here. And you can see it's kind of like a silvery, dark sort of silvery grey. That's the sort of colour I've tried to match. I haven't done it perfectly justice, but I've got it pretty close. That's why I've done them at that colour. Just thought I'd let you guys know. But anyway, let's carry on with this. We've got some internal bits to go in this engine. There's quite a lot of it. We've got 4 camshafts. We've got 12 spark plugs. And we also have 20 camshaft caps to go in, along with 2 cam gears on the end of each, so they say. So 4 cam gears in total. So I'm going to crack on and get all of that done. We'll come back in just a minute. We'll put on everything else. There we go. That's all the internal gubbins done. Let's crack on and move down the front here. We've got a lovely timing chain shoe. There we go. I don't know why that was so hard to say, but there we go. In the yellow, looking pretty good. Black, nope, just a normal 17 belt on that one because it's going to be covered. That's why I remember now. 2 more shoes to go on this one. In you go and in you go there. Then we've got the timing cover, which I have done in the yellow there, looking quite good on the front. We do also have 2 more. These timing covers up here are in the black, matching in with the engine heads there. On you go and in you go. Then we've got this lovely little timing chain cover in white. There we go. Water pump is also in a white on there as well. This will all make sense in a little while, I promise you very much. Then we got the water pump pulleys. These are blacked out as per usual. because they just don't take other colours very well. You can force chrome them, but they just look weird if you do that. Idle roller in the black. Idle roller in the black. On we go. But we'll jump around a little bit if we want. There we go. Crankshaft pulley also in the black, with the power steering pump and the alternator matching them as well. Keeping these two identical, looking very, very good on there. Let's get a few more pieces in. This thermostat up here is in a matte yellow, looking very good. Separating all the colours up there a little bit. Then we got a black belt, that's what I was trying to say earlier, and a lovely little white belt tensioner there, looking pretty good. I have noticed one thing about this belt tensioner, and I will mention it a little bit later on to the devs. It doesn't actually screw into anything. It's kind of just floating there. Even though you screw it in, there's nothing holding it. It just floats like a little bit of magic. But there we go. On upwards we go onto the head covers. These are in a beautiful white. That's why I said it will all make sense in a little while. Looking very good on there. Now, I'm going to get all of these ignition coils in. They are just blacked out, but it's really hard to get them in once you put the other cover on, because then the next piece goes on and they're a bit hard to see. So I'll do that, and I'll see you in a second. There we go. Both sets of head covers on with all the ignition coils in and the black on. Looking very good on there. Let's get the intake manifold in a lovely matte yellow, just finishing off the top of that engine. Don't forget the engine cover, it goes over the top of this, so it won't be as visible as it quite looks now. Fuel rail in a lovely little black, and then we've got two throttles, both in the black, just to finish this engine off. Give it just a little bit of splash of something different at the top, making it stand out just that little bit more. So in you go there. Let's get these last few bolts done up, and that should be everything. We'll just do a quick spin around this engine to make sure we have got everything. I can't see anything else missing there. No, that is everything. So we'll grab some pictures of this beautiful V12. We'll get it dropped in our lovely little Mercy out there. Then we'll get it all finished, ready to go drag racing. Let's get this beautiful V12 dropped inside the Mercy then. Off the stand you come. Out we go. Let's get you in, and hopefully this is going to look pretty good. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Let's jump in and have a look. We obviously won't be able to see it from here because the car is too low down, but if we just nip up here, we can't quite see it with the engine cover at the moment, but we will check it out a little bit later on. I am very pleased with this one so far. I think it's looking fantastic, but we've got a few more bits to go, so up in the air we go with you. In with the gearbox. Hopefully I've done some justice to this gearbox. I've made it a yellow, but it is a much darker yellow to try and match in with that engine block. See how dark that looks up there? It's not really that dark. It's pretty light, in all honesty. Not far off the engine block there. Pretty good. Not the best, not the worst. As I said, there's no exhaust components in this. It just goes into that rear end there. But let's get these rear drive axles in, both blacked out, just to finish it off. Oh, that's not it. There we go. In you go, and in you go there. If I could get you done up. And that, I believe, is everything apart from the wheels. So let's get this beast back down on the ground. I'm going to get some wheels sorted, get them windows tinted, all the liquids topped up, ready to go. And this one will be all finished outside in the sun. Well, here we are then, all finished with Lit's Lamborghini Murcielago. Link in the description below if you want to go and grab this mod for yourself. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely love a Lamborghini. And the Murcielago is just a beautiful one. And the Liberty Walk edition with this beautiful wide body kit on it looks absolutely stunning. Very, very pleased with this one today. Looking fantastic. We did keep it in a sort of classic Lamborghini yellow, but it is looking awesome. If we just open up that trunk there, you can just about see in that engine cover and into there. We'll go into photo mode very quick, and we'll just lift ourselves up in the air so we can just have a good old look down. You can't see too much in there. You can just about see a bit of the white, a bit of the black, and some of the yellows. It still looks absolutely fantastic. Very, very pleased with it. But let's talk about these rims. I did swap the rims out. I went for the rims 22A. That way we could get the two-tone. These bits in here still a bit black, with the rest of it on the outside in a white, matching the text on the car. Just next to it there, you just see it in that white, looking pretty good. The fronts here, these are a 19-inch rim with a 245 width and a 25 profile on there. No ET needed. Everything is perfectly balanced on this one. Don't need to bring it out. Everything fits well. And that red brake caliper, although you can't really see it, I'm going to step back. I'm going to turn my torch on. Looking pretty good in there. Let's check out the rear rim. Rear rim. What is going on with my ability to speak today? These rear ones here, this is a 21-inch rim. 335 width on this one. Much, much wider, still with a 25 profile on there. Looking very good in their two-tone white and black. Very pleased with them. Incredibly pleased with this whole Lamborghini. It looks absolutely stunning. But let's jump in and check out this interior. Now, obviously, I've gone for the two-tone yellow and black seats. matching into that beautiful yellow stitching up around the dash and down the center console there, looking good, with a bit of yellow on the steering wheel just for some good measure. It looks very good in here. The only thing I don't like is that it is a e-gear car. Just not a big fan of e-gear myself. Much prefer a manual, and a gated manual at that. But let's get this beautiful V12's engine started, see what she sounds like. Not bad tick over, pretty basic for the V12s, but let's give it some gas. Incredibly whiny at the top end for the Murcielago, but let's get this beautiful beast onto the dyno, see what its horsepower is today and what its drag rating will be. Here we are then, on the dyno with the Lamborghini Murcielago Liberty Walk and its V12 engine, 670 factory horsepower. How much have we added today, and what will this one's drag rating be? Let's take a look. A gain of 744 horsepower, a gain of 111%. Very pleased with that. Back into some very high numbers. This is what we like to see. Total measured power of 1,413. Does that mean it should now be the LP1413-4? Maybe. We shall see. With a drag rating of a 999 on that one. That's pretty good. Let's get over to the gearbox tuning setup and take a look at this one today. Not the greatest. It's a 3.8 ratio I've gone with, 105 kilometers an hour in first gear, up to 350 in fifth gear. I think if it had a longer runway, it would keep going. But we're only on the drag strip 1 mile. We have fully tuned the ECU, and obviously there's no carburetors. So let's get into it. Let's get over to the drag strip. Let's see what this beautiful little Murcielago can do. Just before we head over to the drag strip, there is one thing I've got to do. This plate doesn't fit for me anymore, so let's take that one off and let's replace it with this one, which is the LP1413-4, more fitting to the car's actual power now. Pleased with that, but let's get over to the drag strip. Let's get into a tournament. On the drag strip with the Lamborghini Murcielago, let's get into it. King of the Sands, 1 mile, A-class, pay the entry fee. Who have we got today? Our first race is against the Ford Mustang drag. That should be quite a hard opponent. Metzi's in. Nice to see you in the VM drag. Very glad to see that. That is the current speederboard champion, so that's cool. Who else have we got here? Matteo in the RTR version 2 Unicorn. French Toast in the version 2 Unicorn as well. Who else is here? That looks to be about it, but some good races. There are plenty of unicorns in here, as there are as soon as the horsepower starts to go up. But we do have 3 of the VM drag Lenticlopes in here. Plenty of unicorns. Let's get into it. Our first race against the Ford Mustang drag. Beautiful blue looking Ford Mustang drag just there. And obviously our bright yellow Murcielago Liberty Walk wide body on there, looking stunning. Who's going to win this race? That's a drag built car. Ours is more of a street built car, but let's get in. Let's find out. Let's go. Off the line, into second, into third. This thing shifts. Into fourth gear. Come on, little Mercy. Where's that Mustang? Nowhere near us at the moment. That's definitely a good sign. Into fifth gear. What are we going to cross the line at? Oh, God, that Mustang has gone. Okay. Turns out the Mercy isn't as good as we all think it's going to be. It doesn't quite have the top end like the Mustang drag. Has the early acceleration across the line. And what were the times today, though, in our first run there? A 9.243 to the quarter of a mile, which actually isn't bad. Very good indeed. The 1 mile at 25.848 with a top speed of 283 kilometers an hour. But we are out in the first round. That is very, very disappointing, but it is what it is. We will do 2 more 1v1s against random opponents just to get some base times down to see where this Murcielago will end up on the speederboard. I feel like we ended up in the wrong competition. This wasn't meant for our Murcielago. This was meant for much higher powered cars that can get the power down a lot harder. This is a quick car. It can accelerate fast. It just doesn't have the top end like all of these clearly do. Let's finish this competition off though. See who's going to come where. We've still got 2 of my Lenticlope VM drags in there. Who is still in? Matteo is still in the Unicorn version 2 versus French Toast in the Unicorn version 2. So let's see who's going to go through. Let's see who's going to win. Let's go. Come on then. Let's have a look. Oh, the Calope's out. Who's in? Matteo knocked out French Toast. Sorry about that. The other Lenticlope is out as well, which I'm a bit surprised at. But the Ford Mustang drag that beat us is through to the next round. Can Matteo beat the electric Ferrari 250? Let's have a look. Come on, who's going to win this one? He can indeed. Matteo's into the final against the Ford Mustang drag that beat us. That could be a tough race. Let's see who's going to win. Who's going to take the prize money? The Ford Mustang drag. Sadly, Matteo, you didn't quite make it, but it is what it is. We didn't get any winnings, so we're 1,000 down before we've even done anything, which is absolutely fantastic, considering at the very beginning, we were already down 13,500. So this has not been great. That Ford Mustang drag is absolutely insane, but it is what it is. Let's go do 3 randoms and see if we can get some better times down for this Mercy. Here we are then. Let's do some 1v1s. The first one, in we go. 1 mile randomize. 1, 2, 3. We are against the version 3 unicorn that apparently cannot just stop appearing. Although it is on vintage race tyres and we are on slicks. So that might give us a bit of a chance. Let's get in. Let's see what we can do. The version 3 unicorn is an absolute beast and it looks absolutely insane. Very pleased every time I see it, although I hate racing against it because it's incredible. Against our widebody Liberty Walk Murcielago. Who's going to win this one? Let's get in. Let's find out. Let's go. Off the line, into second, into third. Come on, Mercy. Looks like we're in front of the unicorn as it stands at the moment. I wonder how long that will last before it just flies out in front of us. Hopefully, oh, there it goes. Off we go. See you later, unicorn. It was a pleasure racing against you. Bye. I'll see you at the finish line. Can we get a slightly better time than our first run, though? Bit higher top speed, bit better to the quarter of a mile. Let's get across the line. And let's have a look and see if we did. A 9.194, ever so slightly better than our first run. Happy to see that with a 25.793 to the 1 mile. Again, a little bit quicker, but exactly the same top speed. Not too bad. Let's just do one more random 1v1 and see if we can actually win a drag race today. Here we are then. 3 more randomize. 1, 2, 3. I'm not doing that one again or again. There we go. The Hot Wheels Bone Shaker Stealth will be what we're up against. Again, this is on slick tyres. Both the same rating. This could be quite interesting. Let's see if we can beat the Bone Shaker. That's one mean-looking Bone Shaker right there. Completely blacked out. Black on black on black. Some people would call it murdered out with a beautiful little red glow at the front there. Pretty insane against our Liberty Walk wide body Murcielago. Who's going to take this one? Don't know. Haven't seen a Bone Shaker on the drag strip for a little while. So let's get in. Let's go. Off the line, into second, into third. Is this Bone Shaker just going to pull away from us the same as every other race we've had today? Or are we going to be able to squeeze the victory from this one here? Nope, the Bone Shaker is off as well. This car, unfortunately, stupidly quick off the line with the acceleration. It's 4-wheel drive. Just doesn't have the top end to keep going like all the other cars we've come across. Bit of a shame. Still an absolutely incredible car, though. Is this going to be our best run of the day? 9.291. It is definitely not our best run of the day. And a 25.891 to the 1 mile. Again, not our best run of the day. Our best run was our second run with a 9.194 to the quarter of a mile. A 25.793 to the 1 mile with a top speed of 283 kilometers an hour. Not too bad. We've got 0 winnings today. So let's just get back to the garage and get ready to say goodbye to the beautiful Murcielago. Well, that's it. All finished with Lit's beautiful Lamborghini Murcielago in the Liberty Walk wide body kit. Absolutely stunning. Very, very pleased with this one. We did get 22nd on the speeder board with a quarter mile time of 9.194. Wasn't too bad. Sadly, this did not win a single drag race because it just doesn't quite have the top speed in comparison to some of the other vehicles that are available, which is a bit of a shame, but it is still awesome nonetheless. I'm very, very pleased with this one. 22nd on the speeder board out of 39 vehicles. Definitely not too bad at all. Now, it did only reach 283 kilometers an hour. All the other cars that are roughly around that sort of speed all sit down in the bottom 5. So this definitely has insane acceleration and a pretty good sort of running. It just doesn't quite have the legs to keep up with some of them faster cars that have got the much higher top speed. But it is what it is. Let's talk some facts and figures about this lovely little beast. I bought the car for 124,000. 549. I couldn't quite read my notes. I do apologize. That we could have sold it at a loss of 13,503, which definitely we weren't going to do. Since then, we spent 92,228 modifying a painting and upgrading this beautiful Murcielago to how you see it here today. Looking absolutely stunning. I'm very pleased with this one. Total spend of 216,849 on this one. The question is, though, can we make a profit from our beautiful little Murcielago? There's only one way to find out. Let's take a look. Well, here it is, all 100% complete now. Very, very good indeed. That engine ramped up to 1,413 horsepower, hence the change license plate to the LP1413-4. Because that's what it stands for. Pretty awesome on that one. Can we make a profit, though? 216,849 is what we spent. 508,173. The crowd goes wild. A hell of a profit on that one. Absolutely incredible. Now, obviously, we didn't get any drag strip winnings or anything like that. So it just is what it is. Straight up profit of 291,324 from the beautiful Lamborghini Murcielago. Very, very pleased with that. Absolutely fantastic. And we learnt a little bit today. If you were paying attention, you learned what these numbers here stand for and the LP stands for. So if you were paying attention and you did learn something, do let me know in the comments below. But it is time to say goodbye to this one. If you do want to grab it, link in the description below. Absolute brilliant mod by Lit. Go and grab it yourself. It is a lot of fun and quite profitable. At least the Liberty Walk one is anyway. So let's get it sold. Take all that profit. Very, very pleased with that. What have we got up next? Some of you have already seen it in the background. That is one of the rarest cars in the world. Absolutely incredible. This is the Ferrari 250 GTO. Absolutely insane. We got this one from the bad auction. As you can see, is absolutely awful. The engine in this one is the i6 Tadak Marek. I'm probably saying that totally wrong. I rushed it, so it didn't sound too bad, but I think that made it worse. The factory horsepower on that one of 298, which is pretty good. We will be putting performance parts on that one, trying to increase it as much as we can. But did we get a good deal on this one? No, not even close. This is how rare this car is. I bought it for 10,134,670, and right now I can sell it for 9,229,800, losing out on 904,868. I mean, we're definitely not going to do that anyway. We want to upgrade, tune, restore this car, getting it looking absolutely beautiful if we possibly can. It's going to be a lot of fun, this one, but this is for next time. And I do hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, please consider hitting that subscribe button, leaving us a like. As I said at the beginning of the video, we are trying to get up to 500 subscribers by the 19th of February, which is also my birthday. But also on the Friday just before that will be my 200th car mechanic simulator video, so we might have something special planned for there. I'm going to do a complete 3-star build. Let me know in the comments below what you would like to see completely 3-starred on the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.